Ed from Pinball Mayhem here. Quick update on Ringer. It is blue. I ended up spraying it with a enamel acrylic using an automotive spray gun, and not really sure how well it turned out yet. I have a little bit of sheen issues. You can see even in the video, there's just little sheen differences. Actually, it looks worse here. You can see across the top too. It's been moved over to my attached garage now, so I'm going to do the stenciling out here. It's freshly insulated, which is going to help me help the paint cure. I'm going to give it at least a week between colors because it is kind of chilly out now. But the garage does stay at about at least 45 degrees, so that's going to help. So yeah, my next step is to this weekend, in a couple days, I'm going to paint the black, which is the face here, and then it lines up with this line, and then the inside is all black. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pull this paper off. I'm going to leave the rest of the tape on the inside because that's not going to be important as far as registration. I'm going to pull this paper off. This ledge is actually covering up what's supposed to be black, actually. You can see this was originally black and that's the white. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually unscrew this panel. I didn't remove it for all this work because to undo the wiring would have been a pain. But I'm going to try to find a way just to kind of suspend that back so I can tape on the back side of these and avoid what the previous owner did when they painted it black, was to do that. And when that's out and I'm waiting for the black to cure, I'm going to clean this up, at least the white, and see what it's going to take just to even touch it up a little bit. Maybe even at least run these lamps, make them glow. But you can kind of see the difference. It looks like still got some of the paint to remove, but yeah, you can see the big difference. Now, I didn't focus on spraying a ton of paint in here because this is supposed to be black. Even up, you can see there's a little bit light spots. I didn't really care because this is all going to get sprayed black. But I figured blue is a better base than white is, and that's what I could tell when I was stripping it. Originally, it was blue, black, another black, overspray orange. So I am going to go back to what it's originally. Right now I'm spraying this in a semi-gloss. So I'm thinking about the sheen issues because with the automotive sprayer it's really hard to see. A lot of overspray everywhere. I went through more paint than I should have. So I'm actually thinking about clearing the whole thing with a semi. Now, as long as you go the same sheen or glossier, you're fine. If you go to a duller sheen, apparently you have a problem. Now, I'm going to be using the 2X spray paint, which also is a enamel, but it's acrylic enamel. But I think they say it's oil-based, so letting this dry for 2 full weeks before I try that's going to be a good shot. Plus, I'm painting the black, so if it does destroy something, I'm not ruining my $150 worth of stencils. I'm also going to redo, here's where that little guy is. I'm going to redo that with an actual circle of tape, so it gets a little bit closer, so it looks a little bit better. But as you can only see, there's only a very little area, not this whole insert that's used. But yeah, don't forget to tape off that insert. I plan on cutting a little circle, a dot, maybe like a rummer sale sticker or something, popping it right over that. Then I'll spray the whole thing and then pull it off, and I'll end up novicing this. Now, once the black is done, I want to give it some good time to cure, but that's the last of the more detailed. Now, rest of this should clean up pretty good, and I'm going to go through the electronics and mechanics when it's time to go into the basement. I do plan on pulling the rest of the mechanism out back here. There's a way I taped it off is on the inside, so there might be a little bit of paint on the edge. Not really too concerned about that because I'm going to take that mechanism, because that's the only real mech that shows rust. That, and I'm just looking right now, we got a little bit of surface rust here. So I might be able to polish that off without, ripping the whole thing apart. But this one, I want to clean that and service every part, because that's the most important thing. That's the only control you have on the game, is the mechanism in the background. So that's going to get all cleaned up. But right now, another thing I want to point out is when I was stripping, I kind of gouged the paint right here. I don't care. This is actually covered up by a piece of metal. That's why I said taking it apart and knowing how it goes is good, because it goes, sandwiches up underneath here, and comes down, and actually comes down to there. So a little bit of a weird edge. You can see it in a little bit of light. And no, that's not, that's actually the corner. It just looks like it's not. So my 150 grit sanding on the edge. If you remember, before I painted, there was just this weird transition that looked like garbage. But by sanding it out, it actually turned out good. This gives me one last shot. If I'm not happy with anything, I can always take a little sandpaper on my thumb and smooth this out, because that 2X, you're supposed to be able to shoot over anything, or over bare wood or whatever, prime for best. So if I take off a little bit of this blue paint to level it, I'm pretty happy. Another thing I did is I tried not to overspray in this area, because in these I'm going to be spraying it again with black, so I didn't want to get this caked with too much paint so that it gets sticky. But that also goes in when you put in the glass and give it time to dry. It still needs a lot of cleaning in the mix and stuff, but I'm super happy with this dynamic blue. It's a Sherwin-Williams dynamic blue. I used enamel, acrylic enamel satin. I would have liked to go semi-gloss, really I would have. So I'm hoping that it turns out, the lady at the store said the enamel dries a little harder and also a little bit more durable. So even though it's satin, it should be able to take the decals, and it should be able to take coating with an oil base, or with the Rust-Oleum 2X. So I'm gonna actually, because this one I wanted to match the base color, but the other two colors I'm not really super, there's so much less of it. Being a perfect match is not going to kill me. Actually, I think it's supposed to be more of a lemony yellow. I might go with a little bit more of a marigold color. I'm going to see what I can get in a satin or a semi-gloss locally. There's two stores that have it. Unfortunately, on opposite sides of Point, so I got to drive and check out their inventory when time comes. But yeah, I'm going to get those, and the black. Of course, the black is going to go next. I'm going to buy that by itself, do it. I'm going to wait another week. So who cares if it takes me a month to get all 4 colors down? I just want to make sure I do it right. Especially because where the black is, the decal does come up this edge, and I'm going to have to put some tape on it. I don't want to lift that black off. I want to make sure I give it time. I know a lot of people do it quicker, wait 24 hours, but I just really want it to cure, and then it's going to cure for more than a few days out here. Of course, it's colder, so giving it more time helps. So thank you for watching and listening to my babbling. Stay tuned. It's going to be probably a few more days until I can get the black on, and I'll shoot an update then. Don't forget to subscribe and check out the other videos in this Ringer series. Oh, looks good blue rather than that gold. Ugh.